how can I put this? What is one thing that you, I guess, hate seeing a man go through, and something that you have went through, or seen a father go through that hurts you the most?
I hate when I see people use their children as weapons.
Hmm.
I hate when I see people not only use their children as weapons and then alienate their children, but then they hurt their children.
Can you elaborate more?
Um, like some of those cases that you see where fathers have fought for rights for their children and have called child services and have proven everything beyond their power, and then somehow that child ends up dead.
Wow.
So they had done everything right. They had done everything they were supposed to do, everything they needed to do, and nobody listened. And then now, with him doing right, doing his job, essentially, he was doing his job. And because somebody was either emotionally unstable, did not either want the child was a pawn, the child was something for you to use as a weapon for somebody else, really bothers me.
Is that based on a true story?
That's not my story, but I have seen things like that happen. I have a family member. It hasn't ended in death, but it's something that's happening right now with someone in my life where I'm watching this child literally spiral, and child services has been involved. I have been involved. The family has been involved, and they have every reason to remove the child, and for whatever reason they don't. Like the poor thing's been like left at school, like yeah, like forgotten about. But she can sure pick her up early on a Wednesday.
Wow. Yeah, things like that. Yeah, that hurts me because, like you said, that's just one case scenario, but that's probably going around.
But the circumstances are still the same. They're just the scenario plays out differently when you talk about using children as pawns. Like, you have these human beings that you literally go half on with another human being, and you will strip that other human being of their ability to provide correctly. So what? You can have extra money every month? Like, I've literally seen men lose their minds or not be able to provide for their next family because somebody is literally financially raping them
All right.
when you could just work as a team. Everybody doesn't have it all the time. Everybody doesn't have extra money to give all the time. I live in a 2 income household and we still barely make it. So for you to say someone's little $300 a month isn't enough
Mm. All right.
while he's losing his mind.
And then also too, what I don't understand is when he's unable to provide and doesn't have it, he goes to jail, and
Mm-hmm.
then nobody wins.
Well, and then now there's a whole nother part of that is that now we're talking about the system is making money off of him. So now you've just created a ward of the state by trying to be what, in power? And then in which case, if you still keep going down the same road, you're either going to jail or you're doing something anyway. And now your child becomes a ward of the state, all because of what?
Right. Now everybody's name is in the system. And also too, I think also too with that, um, they give a lot of government assistance, on top of getting that allowance, you may call it a month.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and it just doesn't make, I don't know, like, I understand, like, a child comes from, the mother's womb.
I think I know where you're going with this one, but it's coming from someone who's been in that position. It's interesting because the welfare system was only developed to get you from one place to another. It was never supposed to be a lifestyle. Like maybe through my kids' younger years, I got food stamps, but I very rarely got cash assistance and I got medical insurance. But there was a point that I was trying to get to make more money so I didn't have to deal with you guys,
Right.
kind of thing. It's not because I was embarrassed, but I'm a fully functioning adult who can function in the world. So when I get to this place where I don't need your help, I'm not looking for any more of your help. But
Right.
there's some people who will make it their lifestyle, which is crazy to me because when I come up, I kind of like the luxury of when my money comes up. Like I don't want to live like on top of other people
Right.
all the time.
Also, too, another thing too. There's a quote that goes, um, the child will eventually find out who was the
And not just that, but
that
if you live that lifestyle, your children eventually grow up. I mean, do you keep having babies to keep you on the system?
right. And then another thing too that I understand is that everybody was once a child.
Mm-hmm.
And then for me, I'm gonna talk about like the women that do this. Most for me, it's like, how do you do that when you have a brother, like or another male, uh, whether it be a male cousin, a male brother. How does that look like? That's a very I've never understood it.
Do you really want me to answer that honestly?
I want you to answer that, please.
Okay. Because there's no value to relationships. We live in this time where, for some reason, women feel like it is the man's job to serve them in some way, shape, or form without having to give anything in return. So there is this ideology that is, you're my brother, you're supposed to defend me. You are my father, you are supposed to give me this. You are my man, you are supposed to give me this. But at what time do you say, um, as a daughter, do you give honor back to your father? Or make sure that you are also there to take care of your father as he gets older? As a sister, at what point do you say, I got you like you got me? And not just when it comes to violence, but like how I had the conversation with my brother. It's like, well, why didn't my response was, well, why didn't you come talk to me? I didn't know I could.
Wow.
You know, as a woman dealing with a man, he's supposed to provide and do these things, do these things, do these things. But what is it that you give him to strive for to even do that for you? So when you're like, well, you have a brother, how would you feel if it was your brother? Absolutely nothing for a lot of women. Or you're just going to be upset because you feel like, nobody disrespects or plays my brother that way, but you're only here for the violence. You're not even really here for the solution or the healing or even trying to understand that maybe it's your brother.
Mm. Wow. And then on the opposite side, on the opposite end, it just looks like there's a bunch of entitlement.
That's exactly what I just in a long way explained. It's an entitlement. it's an entitlement. But I gave that entitlement a face because a lot of people don't see it. It's this give me, give me, give me, pour into me, and then I'm just going to pour this much into you. How many times do you hear men who go way far out of their way for Valentine's Day and Mother's Day and these things, like they're like, all I get is the same sex I have, every day. What thought process do you put into these men
Wow.
to say, hey, I appreciate you? Look, I will be the first one. I buy my man flowers. Seriously.
Wow. First time I've heard that.
I do. So sometimes I will just buy things and sometimes I will just leave him notes.
Wow.
Sometimes I just shoot him random text messages saying, hey, I know things are rough and this and this and this, but I believe in you. I support you. I love you.
Damn. Woo. Wow.
But how many men actually get that? If you don't think to treat a man that way, you having a brother isn't going to make you think that way.
Mm. Damn. Wow, you got me with that one.
Yeah, I asked you if you wanted to know the answer to that one.
Wow, you got me with that one. That's crazy. And just me even feeling that way from you just saying that just shows a lot of what's missing.
Yeah.
A lot of men don't get that same type of feeling. And like you just said, everything you just said is just like, just looked at to just do one specific thing. And I think I posted it not too long ago. It was just, men just looked at just to, be the supplier,
Yeah, you look at it like a
give,
tool.
like a tool. Gimme, 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 gimme. Just keep pouring out. And not looked at anything else of value. And I feel like that's how the court system too has taken and looked at fathers.
So then how do you guys realistically deal with that? How do you say, I'm just going to take on this next thing? Because that's all, like, it amazes me the strength as black men that you guys have, where you're just like, and we're going. All right, just throw it back there with the rest of it. How you guys deal with that?
Look, this is where you come in. This is where the life coach comes in.
That's fair, but I mean, up until this point, there's always a soothing mechanism, some kind of controlling of a release, like these things that you guys can control in your world. So how do you go about dealing with all of this negative pushback in the world and still get up and do it every day?